Okay. We are officially live on effective time blocking on Facebook group. We are live on the Google Meet. Mary's here. Yay, you made it.
What?
Awesome. All right. I know, right? Fancy. So there's a stack of papers there, and everybody who's listening on Facebook, you can email me if you want a copy of the materials that we use today. But you should have a perfect work week or a perfect week, a getting things done, and my normal day. So you're going to go in this order: my normal day, perfect work week, and then getting things done. And we'll probably toggle back and forth from work week and getting things done. And then just like every other class that we take, today's gonna be super interactive. So you will not only, learn about how to effectively manage your time, but you'll kind of walk out of here with a good schedule, or at least a template of a schedule to follow. Okay? Alrighty, so let's go ahead and just get started. Nobody's on Google Meet, but we're recording in Facebook in case anybody needs to go back and watch. So I think it's super effective, especially as we went from our database class and putting all your leads together and thinking about how do I start getting business, to how do I effectively manage my time so that I'm making sure and touching on all of my work related things, family/friend related things, and you time. Okay, so you guys be on the lookout for my December blog, because I really talk about going into the next year and taking some time for yourself. And if there's nothing I learned more than COVID this year, was to take some time for yourself. It really refreshes your brain and it gives you more productive work later. So if all you're constantly doing is working, you will burn out. Maybe not today, maybe not in a month. You will burn out, or you'll get sick and your body will just say, hey, I didn't get burned out, but my body was like, okay, you're going to get something because you need some time to yourself. So make sure that you're always, when you're planning your schedules and putting I'm going to call it a template of time together, because in reality, something always happens. So if you're super rigorous with your schedule and you're like, I'm planning everything's planned to the minute, don't get me wrong, there's good in that, but you have to be flexible in that you may get a client, you may get sick, you may somebody else may get sick, God forbid, you may have a flat tire, something always comes up that you have to be forgiving yourself when you don't stick to the schedule perfectly. But you also, if you stick to it, you've got those work hours that are really good for you, and they're going to be more consistent, and you'll get more work done and deeper work done. So there's a book called Deep Work by Cal Newport. And he talks about, time blocking and day theming and time chunking. And he says a 40-hour time blocked work week, I estimate, produces the same amount of output as a 60-hour work week pursued without structure. So if you you just know you have to do a bunch of things and there's no structure to it, you can work 60 hours and maybe get that work done. But if you time block it and really make a schedule for yourself, you can get just as much work done in less time. So that's our whole goal today, is we were realtors or whatever, we do a lot of work and we work all day, every day. But if you can set your own schedule and your own parameters, that's why we got into this business, right? Because I don't want to work 8 to 5 every single day. But you can, if that's what you want, but you just have more flexibility in that. My dog gets sick, I need to go home. You can go home and you can, move that chunk of time a couple hours later, or add it to the next 2 days. You know what I mean? So there should be flexibility, but just keep that in mind. And also look into that book. It's a really cool book, Deep Work. So we're gonna go ahead and just jump right into the activities. Okay, so you've got this, my normal work day. It's just a blank piece of paper, nothing on there. What does your day look like right now? Like on a normal basis, what do you do? What time do you wake up? Do you eat breakfast? Do you work out? Like literally list out your day. Take the time to write down, like, what do you do on a day-to-day basis? Every day may be a little bit different for you, but for the most part, you've got some structure to your day already. So what does your day look like now? When do you work? And if you don't do anything, yes? An extra pen?
I think that was one from right here. I think I have one. Let me check. I was about to ask, but I was looking around for it before I asked. Thank you. You're welcome.
Hello, whoever just joined, I can't see your face. Oh, and I'm not presenting. Oops.
Grace.
Hi, Gracie.
Sorry I'm late.
That's okay. We only just talked about why should you time block? And then we're right now on an exercise that is writing down your normal day. And be super honest with yourself, guys. Like,
so your normal day or like today?
what's your normal day look like? Like, okay, even let's say sometimes I go to meetings at 10. Put that in there. Like 10 o'clock, I either sleep through it or I go to a meeting. You know, like be honest, because not what should your day look like, not what you should do, but what you actually are doing. Like I want to work out after work or before when I wake up, but really I just sit there with a cup of coffee for an hour and a half. Like be honest, okay? I'm gonna give y'all about 3 more minutes to just kind of scribble down what you do every day. Again, be brutally honest with yourself here. I'm not going to make you read this out to anybody. This is just for you. And it's only going to be effective if you're honest with yourself. All right, 1 more minute. Okay. All right, now look at your day. What time does your day start?
6:37.
About 6:30 for everybody, 7,
6
6:37, 6 a.m. All right. So that's fantastic. You guys all start really early. There are people, what was that, Grace?
6 a.m.
6 a.m. I love it. So there are a lot of realtors that start their day at like 9 or 10. And I'm not even gonna lie to you guys. I was one of them. I'm like, slept till 9 o'clock, hung out for an hour or two, got to work around 11, 12, because I didn't have an office and I just worked from home. And why not? Right?
I
It's
know,
good for
I'm
you.
only up because of Katie.
It's good for you to wake up early and to do things. Okay, one more thing. Look at your schedule. So what time did it start? What time does it end? What time does your day end? Never.
Earliest?
Never.
8:30 p.m.
8:30, 12:30, 8,
10:30.
10:30. All right. So obviously you guys aren't working that whole time. That's just around when you go to bed, right? I want you to do one more thing. Look at your work week. Look at your day, your typical day. Are there any time sucks there? Anything like time that you really aren't doing anything? Like, do you ever, and I'm going to be brutally honest again here. Do you sit when you're supposed to be working and scroll or watch TikTok or videos?
Yes.
Okay, so if you have any time sucks, circle them. And remember, just be honest with yourself, because this is how we're going to build out your day, where I have time to actually do something in that space so that the end of my day is maybe earlier. Because you guys ended your day when you went to sleep. That's great. But your actual day ends when you quit doing activities, and that's what we want to get to, is make your work day super productive and shorter. Nadeem, we're going to work on this with you too. He's like, no, this isn't working. This class is crap. I'm leaving. You cannot shorten my day. That might be true for Nadeem. To
My
find your time.
downtime is when I start losing my focus.
Mm-hmm.
I need to just stop for a few minutes, 30 minutes, whatever, do
Mhm.
whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then get back because,
And that is something we all need,
yeah.
really. Okay. All right, so now you've circled your time sucks. You've started your day. You've ended your day. Nadeem has given us a very nice drawing of how he actually feels.
Oh.
We're going to call that a time suck right there, Nadeem.
You're right. Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
Okay, and now on your piece of paper, I want you to write down at the bottom, how many hours do you actually work? Take out your time suck, take out the time that you flip through, and when you say, I go to work from, personally, I get to the office about 9:30 and I leave at 5. So that's my work time. I want you to write down your work times. And then right under that, count your hours, and then think about how many time suck hours you have. Don't include lunch. Don't include, I had to stop and talk to this person because they came to my desk, or, but if you think about like how much time you are just chit-chatting in work, that's a time suck. Scrolling through your Facebook, that's a time suck. Staring at your computer like, I really have to do this, but I really don't want to, that's a time suck. So think about all the time that you're there and how many hours you actually physically work, meaningful, deep focus on tasks that make you money. Because we can all make a pretty design, but is that pretty design that you spent 12 hours on going to make you money tomorrow? We can all, and I'm totally guilty of that. So what time do you work from, and then how many hours do you actually focused work? Actually do focused work. And somebody tell me how many hours they actually focus work.
Right out top of my head, 10 and a half hours.
10 and a half hours? That's good.
That's
a lot of work.
That's in 5.5.
That's
Yeah,
good.
I have 6.
That's good. So you think that you only waste about an hour or two at work every day?
See, that's different. I do a part-time job, so
Mhm.
I'm there from 9 to 3
Mm-hmm.
whenever I can.
That's okay. That's okay.
But
Because
I'm getting to work there too.
We're going to time block other jobs or other tasks or other things that you guys have, as well as time block your work in real estate, and then time block. Okay, eventually you want to get to the point where you're full-time. Nadeem had a full-time job when he started with us, but he kept doing the tasks, the meaningful tasks, inside a certain amount of time frame, which made his workday now way too big. Nadeem needs a team, but Nadeem needs to start delegating soon. That, you know, but that's just that's a different way to time block and to manage, you know, but you're probably soon ready to start taking that step back. Okay, so around 5 to 6 hours for the most part, everybody works besides superhero Nadeem. Yeah? All right. So in that 5.5 to 6 hours, you want to make sure that you're, you know, being super deep and focused on the tasks that you need to do to not only further your, so the point is to make those 5 and 6 hours consistent so that you're not taking out the time in between, and then you have more time to do other things, right? So another thing to consider when you're getting ready, and we're going to get to time blocking, I promise, is that your time is a currency. It's money you can't replace, okay? So every minute of every day is gone is less that you have. So you want to make sure that you're spending your time value as best you can. So what's the best return on your time investment? And you want to really consider this when you're getting ready to put in when we get ready to do your perfect work week. Okay? So your time is a currency. Don't just give it away. Right? Make it valuable. And remember that there are things that are important to you that aren't just work, that aren't just, you know, you have pets, you have families, you have friends, you have, again, your own mental health. And then you also have work. But your clients, while they are, you know, you work for them in a sense, you also have every control to say no. So everybody, I want you to know that you can say no. Okay? All right. No. All right. On your paper, I want you to flip it over. On your my normal day, flip it over. We're going to write something else. And I know there looks like a spelling error here. The ones thing. There's a book by Gary Keller. It's called The One Thing. And he talks all about, obviously he's a real estate guy. He talks all about real estate. The one thing you can do at the very beginning of your day to make sure that you're doing the thing that you need to do to make yourself more successful in real estate. So I 100% agree with that, but I think there are 3 different categories that you have a one thing in, okay? So I call it the ones thing because there's multiples. The one thing at work that will give you the biggest return on your time investment and financially, that's why we work, for money. Okay, so we're gonna sit down in December and talk goals, and we're gonna talk about our why, because why do we do this? Why do you work? I need money. Let's just be real, okay? It's money. It's not because I love my kids. It's not, it's because you need money to survive, period. So work. What is the one thing you can do at work that will give you the most value for your time investment and give you the most money? So what is the thing that's gonna give you the most money in return? So a lot of realtors will tell you, oh, it's prospecting. Is it prospecting if you don't do it? Is it making phone calls if you don't do it? Is it posting on social media? What's the one thing? Where's the one thing you really feel like your clients come to you? Where does it happen? One thing, not, I get clients from multiple areas, that's true. But where's the biggest place? Is it church? Is it social media? Is it past clients? Is it family? Is it, sphere? It could be anything. Think about that one thing. Where does the one place that you get the most clients from? And if you're not getting any clients right now and you're like, screw you, Renee, I have nobody. Where's the one place that you would go to get clients? Think about it this way. And think about it super individually. Like people get clients from ads. People get clients from their broker leads. Not like that. Like, where can I go today and ask somebody to give me business? Is it church? Is it social media? Is it, and you'll actually get, I mean, if it's your mommy, go talk to your mom. Mom, I need somebody like in the next week. Who do you know? Is it a doctor that you know? Is it a friend who's just crazy investing? Can you give me a shot? Let me do one property for you. I know you've got somebody else, but can you give me a shot? I just need some momentum. Who can you go to, or where can you go to, or what can you do to give you money today? Everybody's different. So I can't tell you this, right? We can sit down and strategize together, and we will do that one-on-one as you guys want to. But what's the one thing you can do during your normal work day that will give you the most money? The most time and the most money. So like it could be one person. Nadine, you might say Dr. Amer. He might be the one person that gives you the most time, you know, the most for your time and the most for your, and the most money in return. Everybody's staring at me. Write it down. If you have more than one, write them down. And if it's a thing rather than a person, like posting on social media or making phone calls to your database or emailing your friends or DMing, you know, all your whatever, door knocking on your past clients' doors. I mean, don't only just list the person, but list the activity, because you're not just, you could call Mr. Smith. But would you just call him and ask him, or would you take him to lunch? That's a different activity. And then, once you have your one thing, go ahead and write down at least 2 other things that you could do to get money quickly, that you could get business quickly. Even if it's coming to the office and calling old leads, if it's anything. Database mining. And don't worry, we're going to add a whole bunch of crap on there that you guys don't want to do, but you still should. Okay, now write down, okay, friends, family, dogs, other. What is one thing that you like to commit time to? Write that down. Going to the club, going to church, hanging out with friends, going to kids' sports. Yeah, anything that you enjoy doing, but it's not just something just for you. Like things that involve other people, other, you know, relationship building with other people. And I say family because for me, I have kids, so that's my time with my family. But that is not by any means time for me, you know, because I'm busy and I'm running them around. It's not time for me. So do see the difference between like, I'm going to go get my nails done. That's different than I got to go to my kid's soccer game, or I got to go walk my dog. While that may be therapeutic for you, it's not for you, it's for your dog. You see how there's a difference there? Mm-hmm. So just one thing that you have to give to other people in your life. And a couple things is fine. But make sure to put them like in order of most importance. If you have kids and dogs, which I do, sorry, but my kids come first. That sounds terrible, but they do. Like, If the kid has to pee, he goes first before the dog. Okay. So those are kind of things. Put them in sequential order. And then the last thing I need you to write down is one thing, at least one thing that you will do for just you. And not things you already do, because you probably don't do much for yourself. One thing you do for just you. Just you. I read a book. I go get my nails done. I sleep. Like whatever it is. And it can't be like I sleep at night, because that's basically my me time, is I get to sleep at night. And even then it's interrupted by my very noisy husband sometimes. So something for just you. An activity, a thing. Think of it as a reward for all the hard work you did on the first one. And then your second one. That's something just for you. Even if you're not doing it yet. And it can't be workout unless you're a workout person. Because it needs to be something that you want to do all the time. You know
I
what I
want
mean?
to, I just never made it.
Right, but that's because everybody prioritizes themselves last. And that's okay. We're gonna make you more of a priority in your perfect work week, in your time blocking. Are we good? Awesome. Let's move on. Okay. So now we're going to go ahead and start getting to the nitty gritty of your work time. So I want you guys to keep this paper, because it doesn't seem like a lot, but there's a bunch of stuff that you wrote on there that eventually we're going to push into this guy. Okay. So on your get things done page, let's go to that one first. Write down your to-do list, some major categories that you have to do every day at work. So we're going back to work. We talked about the 3 different sections, but really we're going to focus more on work, because this is work related, right? Do you have to do emails? Do you have lots of emails you have to answer every day? Do you need to make phone calls every day? Do you have like a meeting all the time? First, write down your work categories in your to-do list. Another one would be, I would say prospecting should be on there. You should always be looking for business. But social media, that might be another thing. Emails or phone calls, you should always be calling your database. Phone calls could be on prospecting, or you could just write database on there, because we'll break out database on theme days. But just think that through. Like, what are some certain things you have to do? Once you do your work tasks, then do your at-home tasks. So your other time, your friends, family, other time. Not the you stuff, but like, I have to cook 5 meals on Sunday, otherwise we don't eat on Monday through Friday. You know what I mean? Or I got to clean my house on Thursdays, otherwise my house never gets clean. Those kind of things that are task oriented that you have to do. So add those to the bottom of your list. Education might be one
This
thing.
is all under to-do list, right?
Yeah, you guys, you can scroll down. I have other copies of this things to do. I have it digitally if you want to. I used to just keep these like as my dailies. I would print these for every single day. So a Monday day, a Tuesday day, because I do theme days. So all my days are slightly different. But it was kind of like my template. And again, remember, we're templating our time blocking. We're not actually like rigorously. Also, when you go to your you time, don't schedule that. Like, on Tuesdays, I'm gonna get my nails done. On Wednesdays, I'm gonna do this. On Saturdays, I'm gonna do, like, kind of let it be spontaneous if it has to be. It doesn't, once you rigorize your fun stuff, it becomes task oriented stuff, right? So let your free time kind of like be what it is. It's gonna be on your calendar as me time, not nails done. It's on your calendar as me time, not nails done, if that was your you time thing, or read book, because then it becomes a chore and not a fun thing. Gracie, are you still following along with us?
Yes, I am.
Okay, wonderful. Sorry, I can't see your face when I present. So. Okay. Also, on getting things done, let's go ahead and start planning our day, okay? So, for those of you who have other work schedules, put that in now. So, if you have an other work schedule, you already have something to do during that time, especially if it's a job that you have to like physically go to. Like Kelly said, she's there from 9 to 3. Then 9 to 3 needs to be blocked out. Okay, so go ahead and what I do is I make blocks like this with colors. You guys just have one pen. We even forgot pens today. Just make a block around those times. Let me see your pen, Kelly. So I'm using Kelly as an example. And block out the time. Okay, so if you have other work. Now, for those of you who don't and you're doing real estate, then go ahead and block out the time that you want to dedicate. Now, we're not talking tasks, but the dedicated work time you want to do for real estate. Okay, so Nadim, your 10 hours clearly doesn't fit on here, okay? So we're going to work on getting your time organized, because I think that's really where your time is getting a little bit blocked up, is maybe a little bit more organization. But I would just say, I want to work from 9 to 6, and that's going to be my real estate work time, or 9 to 8, or 11 to 8. Okay, so if the hours aren't on here, don't get too wrapped up in the hours. You can scribble out the hour and put a different hour if you want to. But, ideally, what do you want your work week to look like? It doesn't have to be 1,000 days. It doesn't have to be 1,000 hours a day. And I would highly suggest you guys put at least 3 hours into this work a day. Consistent, focused 3 hours. Now, you've got another job, maybe do 2 hours, but I'm telling you one thing, if you don't sacrifice some of that time and do the things you need to do, you're not going to be successful in real estate. You won't be, or in anything, if you're not going to focus on it, okay? So you really do have to, you're not allowed to say practice makes perfect anymore in daycare, because nobody's perfect. Practice makes better. Okay, that's fine, but I'm always looking for perfection, so practice and keep doing it. I just don't understand kids these days. That's okay. Everybody's soft. I'm not a softie. My mom used to brush my hair really hard, hit me when I cried. So, toughen up, folks.
You and me.
It's definitely a Hispanic culture thing. Bam, 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 shut up. All right, so put your hours of work in there. The next task may have been, the next thing that we talked about was your time that you have to do with others, so friend, family time. So go ahead and put that. I know that our day doesn't go all the way to the end, but if there's a little blank space, put like 7 to 9, if that's your family blank time. And you could just write it in there and then make the block around it. And then if you work after that, we're going to just have to write those hours in on the side right here. I also work from 10 p.m. till 3 a.m. and I get back up at 6 a.m. because I'm a workaholic. My name's Nadim. He's doing good though. So, what can you say? Remember, this is a work template. Things come up, right? Okay, now I want you to think, we're going to go through prospecting day. It says down here. And just keep in mind that this is like a weird template that I found, but we're going to actually call that our theme days. So like, we talked about this in Database Goldmine. I'm going to talk about it again today because there are certain days of the week, if you did it consistently, that your brain automatically makes you do it, 1. And 2, your people are more receptive to it because they're expecting it, right? So maybe Mondays are your current client follow-up days. So, and then you want to also because you're following up with current clients. So Monday might be your follow-up day. Current client follow-up, past client follow-up, and you know, prospects follow-up. So people who are you're kind of working on, but they're not actually working yet. Might just be your follow-up day. So you're following up with all these different groups of people. And this is work related. It's not you related. It's not family related. Okay, so it's going to be a follow-up day. Are you doing a actual prospecting day where you actually dig for business and you take the time? Pick a day that's not a Monday because everybody already hates Mondays. So maybe Thursday. Today is Thursday and I'm going to dig for business today because tomorrow I'm going to reward myself with a half day, get wasted, and I have Saturday off, whatever the case is, you know. So think of a day of prospecting. Another day might be meetings day. Like most of our meetings are on Wednesday. And starting going forward next year, instead of doing these like Tuesday, Thursday classes, all of our meetings are going to be on Wednesdays. Whether they're on our first Wednesday family or it's a training in the middle of the month, they're all going to be on Wednesdays because I'm trying to time block better as well. And I need to have like
One day.
yeah, every Wednesday, pretty much every Wednesday from, 9:30 to 11:30, I don't have time to do meetings because I'm going to be doing classes. So, all right. And then, so meetings time might be another thing. Admin time. So you guys have to write contracts. You have to review contracts. You have to upload your stuff into Back Agent. I mean, there's all these like little annoyances that we have to do as realtors, right? So maybe make an admin day. And then maybe if you are a person who is social media heavy and you're writing your own content, or you're doing your own thing, or you want to start a newsletter, or you want to start email, maybe you have a content day where you sit down and you write your content. I'm just giving you guys ideas. Maybe every day isn't perfectly scheduled. You might have showing day. This is a day that I take all my clients to. I don't even work because I'm in my car all day long. I'm lucky if I eat. I never get to pee. I hold it all day long.
Saturdays.
What is your showing day? You can have, and that could be 2 or 3 days a week, especially like Nadeem is showing a lot. He comes into the office till like around 2 and then runs and shows and picks up the kids and then does his other things. So, but you might just have 2 days out of the week that you don't even worry about contracts, where all you do is schedule and show. So think about those things. If you don't have showings already, I always suggest you guys start visiting open houses. Learn the inventory. Because when a client calls you and says, well, I really like this neighborhood, and you're like, I went to an open house in that neighborhood, so I actually know that neighborhood. You could spend all day Saturday going to open house to open house to open house. Right? Take your business card. Nadeem went to an open house and gave his business card and ended up getting a bunch of clients at somebody else's open house. Take your business cards. Chat with the agent. Worst case, bring them over to Sage Street Realty like Nikki does, and then just start collecting their money if they make any money at Sage Street Realty, right? Because we have our referral program. Any questions about things you could do for theme days? Awesome. Okay. And then, let's see, where are we at? Okay, last thing we're gonna do is go ahead and take your things to do, turn it over. And I want you to write down your work tasks. Like, what are the things you have to do at work? And remember to put in, go back to your piece of paper, your one thing that's going to make you the most money. That should be at the top of your list, okay? And if you wrote down 2 or 3 things, go ahead and put those in there. Go ahead and write those down, because right after this, we're going to go ahead and start putting our calendar together. So this example is a chunking time. Like, I'm going to write from this time to this. I'm going to check emails from this time to this time, okay? It's a chunking schedule. It's not necessarily your perfect work week, which I'll show you guys what mine looks like, okay? But go ahead and write down tasks. Like, do I need to do emails? Do I need to make my phone calls, my follow-ups, not just on your follow-up day, not just on, think about all the things that you need to do. I have to I have to schedule my showings. I have to take some time to research 15 properties before I start making my phone calls. Like, think about what you need to do every day. This happens a lot. Do you take some time to go out and network? Because you can't network in the office. It's real difficult. Nobody's there. You can hang out with me. I think I'm pretty fantastic. But but there are no dollar signs there. You are literally wasting your time currency unless you have questions, so you're working directly with me.
Is there reports or stuff that you can use to prospect clients off of MLS? Like anything that, would you recommend the desks and stuff like that? No.
You can. There are lots of things you can do with MLS. Really, the only thing, and specifically MLS, is you can do reverse prospecting, and that's only helpful if you have a listing. However, there is a lot of tools in RPR, like printing, reports and emailing them out. You can, I use RPR to get, I have a client who's looking in Castle Hills, has to go to Castle Hills Elementary, else they don't want a house there. So I went to RPR and pulled a list of all the people who live in Castle Hills, have at least 50% equity, have lived in their house for 5 or plus years, and right? And I sent that, I just pulled that list and started mailing to them to see if I could get somebody to sell their house. Nobody in Castle Hills ever wants to move, so it's been difficult. But, you could definitely use it for lots of things. I would say take an RPR class. I am not an expert by any means. So go and take a class at CCAR, or their RPR, if you just log into it, there's a bunch of tutorials. And it's when you log into when you log into Matrix or Netris, instead of clicking on Matrix, it's at the bottom section of little icons. Just click on RPR. I think there are better ways to prospect than using those particular tools, unless if you have a specific goal in mind. Yeah. Kelly, you and I can sit together and talk about prospecting ideas for you. You guys, if you need prospecting ideas, by all means, give me a call. Let's sit together. Let's think about what are you actually good at. It's never good to put on your time list cold calling if you know you will not do it. It's literally like a waste of the space block on your schedule. You know what I mean? If you're not going to do it and you're just going to sit there and maybe make one phone call and then watch your phone and then scroll through TikTok and watch some videos and then check an email and then move on to something else, if you won't do it, don't write it, okay? While phone calls, cold calling can be very lucrative, if you don't have thick skin and you don't do it, it's not lucrative at all. It's just a waste of your time. And then you feel like, well, now I have 30 minutes, I'm going to finish binge watching Squid Games. You know what I mean? Don't do that. Okay, let's move on. All right, so now you guys have your tasks. What do I need to put in my calendar? What's my work time? What are my tasks in my work time? What are my theme days? What is my time? And what is my family time? Okay? Does everybody feel like they have that list kind of scattered everywhere in the papers I gave you? Yes? Awesome. Now we're going to organize it. So go to my perfect work week. And I color code these, guys. So I would say if you want another copy after this, let me know, because you would probably just scribble into this one. I can give you another copy. Or you could always just go into your Google Calendar and actually color code it in your Google Calendar from there, which I was going to show you guys what mine looks like. Anybody wants to see my hot mess of a calendar? And what I mean by template, okay? So here's my calendar for this week in particular. So let me go to a different week that I haven't already started scheduling stuff. Okay, this is my regular work week template. You can see like there's certain blocks that are there all the time. You see that?
Happy hour.
Yeah. And they're there all the time. But when I put them in my calendar, I don't mark it as busy because I don't always have that time filled. Like you see agent Calendly. That's when you guys are on my calendar. If that time doesn't get filled, I put something else there. Okay, so this is my time template. But like you can see my week particularly where here was my agent Calendly. Somebody actually scheduled on my agent as an agent. So I got a calendar invite, but then nobody else did, so I threw in a class. You can kind of see like I was supposed to do my app work, but I couldn't, so I threw in a class. You see,
When you throw in a class?
I mean, those are my classes, yeah, that I take. I'm constantly educating myself. I feel like you guys should be doing the same thing, whether it's on a system or, if you just want to go and educate yourself on RPR because you think it's the best tool in the world, do it. Like, take the time to educate yourself. I will always provide you guys with training, but I'm only one person, and your specific need may be totally different than what I can offer you today. Like maybe you didn't need time blocking. Everybody needs time blocking, but if you didn't need it, you come to this class, but tomorrow you took a class on something that's, maybe more tailored to you. How to work with commercial contracts, how to work with best way to close residential leases, apartment locating 101, whatever the case is. Like, that might be different education that you want to take for yourself, whether it's through CCAR, whether you just found it. For me, I have a business coach, so like my business coach sends me classes. You guys might find that coaching is good for you eventually. It's expensive, so don't do it unless you have the money to do it, but those kind of things. Okay, so you can see how my template of time is a little different than I throw stuff in there. If I don't have anything going on, then I'm going to replace that. I'm not just going to sit there and be like, well, I have 3 hours now that I don't have to do anything because I had scheduled for agents, and an agent might come in and they might need me, and I'm just not going to do anything. I'm just going to sit here. Oh, that's a funny video. Oh, I love that. Oh, let me send this dog to my mom. Like I don't do that. I put other things in those times. So go ahead and start putting your time schedule together. So if you go to work, if you are at work by 9 a.m. or 10 a.m., that should be the one thing, that's the time you do the very one thing that makes you the most money, okay? Do it first. That way you're already kind of motivated for the day because you got somewhere. So you're like, yeah, pat myself on the back. I'm at work. I'm not in my pajamas. You might feel more motivated to do that one thing that makes you the most money but may not be your favorite thing to do. Do it first. Get it out of the way.
I'll put a nap time to it.
Nap time? Yeah, that's probably when you should take naps. It's probably a good time to do that for you, Nadine.
But that's actually one thing I actually did start.
Taking naps?
Yeah.
Good.
Usually between like 5 and 6 in the
Mhm.
afternoon. Phone is, ringer is off.
Good for you. Good for you. That's your you time. And guys, when it's your you time, turn your phone off. There is nothing that is that important. It can't wait for 1 hour. Nothing. If your house is on fire, you are not going to put that fire out by yourself, okay? It's gone. Well, wait the hour. Go back when the police did their job, and all you have to do is cry, okay? Like there's...
One take it, put on that car and snap.
There is literally nothing that can't wait an hour. And even if you think of the worst case scenario, even if you learned an hour later, it still happened, right? Nothing you can do to make it better. Take your hour. Turn your phone off. And I have more copies of these if you guys are like, dang it, I wish I did this in pencil, because I had to do it in pencil like 15 times before I got a final beautiful copy that I liked before I transferred it to my actual calendar. So,
How did you change colors in your calendar?
so I put everything on the same calendar, and then you can create different categories within your calendar, but what I do is I just like click on it, click edit, and there's like this little color here.
Okay. Okay.
And then just click save, and that should have been blue because all of Noah's stuff is in blue. Like this should be in purple because Nadia's stuff is in.
But you need to write out whatever color you're using, what's it referred to.
You should write it down if you don't remember, but eventually, like, your stuff is going to be so consistent. Like, everything that's super work related, like task work, is in green for me. Time I have for agents who are not my agents is in yellow. Time I have for agents that's just templated time is in light purple. Dark purple is Nadia. Dark blue is Noah. Red is like, do not miss this, you know, like, have to do. Don't like put every single thing into different color. You know, if you put every little tiny task in a different color, there's not enough colors, you know? So, like, work stuff, all my work stuff's in green. I know it's work related and I need to pay attention to it. You know what I mean?
Very smart.
And then I put like my me time in dark green. Okay, we're actually just wrapping up. So you guys, well, that's actually a good time. Because Katie did tell me there's somebody in here right after us. But keep this. If you want another copy, let me know. Gracie, email me to remind me to send you these things, or you could just come to the office and pick them up when you have time. But that way you guys can write them out. And let me escape this and show you what I got here.
Where have you been, Missy? Where have you been?
So this is the effective time that we're just now putting together.
Okay.
And then this was the getting things done.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, you're so welcome.
Does anybody want another copy of this now?
That's like,
Anybody?
Yes.
Yes.
Anybody else? No? Yes? Maybe? Okay. And then what I would say, once you get that done, copy it to your Google Calendar. If you need help, like, organizing your Google Calendar, then just give me a quick call. It's not hard. It's super simple. But thank you guys for taking effective time blocking. It really does help if you think about all the tasks and do the one thing first that makes you the most money. You can go.
You may leave.
You may leave.